For the past 3 years, Boston has been a leader in making large development projects more energy efficient, but the city is also concerned about other buildings, including the many homes where Boston residents look for ways to cut back on the cost of heating. Thanks to a new program, it's getting more affordable to save on energy by installing solar panels. The program is called Solar Mass Boston and is provided by the city, the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center, and the Massachusetts Department of Energy Resources. To tell us more is the city's Chief of Staff for Environmental and Energy Services, Jacob Glickel. Thank you very much for being with us, Jacob.
Thank you for having me on.
There was once a time when solar energy, it just seemed like not quite ready for the average home or the average three-decker in Boston. How far have we come since then?
We've come significantly. For a home with a good orientation, you're talking about a 4 to 6 year payback on installing solar on your home right now.
Explain those numbers a little bit more.
Sure. If you're going to just purchase a solar array and put on your home right now, you will expect to get that money back through energy savings from your electricity bills in about 4 to 6 years. And that includes federal, state rebates and incentives, tax credits as well.
And I imagine that in addition to any money recaptured that way, eventually if you ever sell the property, I suppose that would be quite an asset as well, maybe.
Exactly. You're basically giving people free electricity for they were to buy. There's also another way that's coming very, very popular for people to get solar on their homes. It's called a power purchase agreement. And it's basically, in some senses, that you're leasing your roof to a solar installer. They're taking care of all the installations, maintaining, and so then in return, you buy the power from them at a reduced price from the general utility rate.
Is this just about one device that's put on the house to do one thing? Are we talking about maybe somebody coming to the house, trying to get the whole picture, and maybe at least recommending a combination of things?
Yeah, it's definitely, we're going for the whole house. In order to get the rebates from the state, you must get an energy assessment. And the state, we recently ranked #1 in the nation for our energy programs, and we have great incentives for insulating your home, getting free light bulbs, and really tackling the kind of how your whole home uses energy.
What about the kind of houses on which this would work? Because we have a lot of houses with A-frame roofs, we have a lot of houses with flat roofs, especially three-deckers. So is there anything just in terms of the roof alignment that you have to think about?
Yeah, when you're installing solar, it's not right for everybody, especially in the city. There's a lot of kind of, there's obstacles, trees, shading. But the ideal home for solar is a framed roof, a slanted roof facing the south. But now with technology, they really can kind of go anywhere from all the way east to all the way west in terms of the orientation of the roof. For flat roofs, they have a little bit of an adder to it. You kind of have to tilt up the solar panels, so they got to kind of rack it up there. But it's all possible, and the prices are very, very attractive right now.
So what's the price range for something like this? So let's say on a single-family house or a three-decker.
Sure. I'm going to do my best guess, but from what I understand, so if you're looking for like a regular single-family home, you're talking about a 5 kilowatt system, which is about 20 panels. You're talking about $20,000 to $25,000. That's before all the tax credits and rebates. What a lot of people are doing right now is mentioned before, the power purchase agreement, and for in some cases no money down, but as little as $500 to $1,000 down, you can lock in with Solarize Mass, this program, because we're adding such a great deal, about 12 cents per kilowatt hour, while in the utilities and stars you're paying about 15, 16 cents for your electricity bills.
By the way, I'm also wondering about some other benefits of a program, not just for the homeowners themselves, but creating jobs and creating wealth in this state. Is this something that we're doing as opposed to having people just spend money on fossil fuels that are more likely to come from some other country?
Yeah, this is really a win-win for everybody. It's a way to invest in your home, whether it's through solar or through energy efficiency. It's a way to reduce your monthly costs, but also you're producing basically construction jobs, and those you cannot offshore those. And the city of Boston knows this very well, and we're partnering with a lot of these companies that we're working with to make sure that they're connecting with local job training so that people in the community can take advantage of this growing community.
What about the eligibility for this program, especially in terms of either income or if you are an owner-occupant as opposed to just somebody who owns the house?
Sure, there's no income levels for solar programs, but you do need to own the home. You do need to have the ownership has to be, owner of the building has to be the kind of the primary with the purchase. But in terms of that, there are no income qualifications for the home. For the energy efficiency, it's actually based on the tenant, the landlord or the tenants who's on the electricity bill. So a tenant can work with their landlord to get their home insulated and try to find out the best way to do that. So people who can't take advantage of this, which is many, especially because it's kind of dense and a lot of odd buildings in Boston. But for those who can't participate in solar, there's a lot of great ways you can reduce your energy use.
The mayor's taking advantage of it.
Yes.
Is that prompted some talk and maybe some people calling up and say, tell me about this?
So the mayor, last week it was great. The mayor announced that he's participating in Solarize Mass Boston and putting 16 panels on his roof. He's got a great roof out in Hyde Park, southern facing.
Reedville,
exactly. And he's been excited about it. He's participated in Renew Boston energy efficiency. He's been leading by example, and he can't stop talking about it with his cabinet and people he meets every day. And it's just a great example of showing the leadership that Mayor Menino has done over the past years in environment and energy. And so he's actually, just to kind of give an example, because every house is different, but just for his house, he's doing the power purchase model. He's going to put $500 down, and so he's going to lease his roof to our installer, which is Solar City, and so he's locked in a 12 cents rate for 20 years. So that his rate, no matter where the electricity rate, most likely it's going to go up over the next 20 years, for the power that's produced from the solar panels, he'll be paying 12 cents. He's expected to save right now about $18 a month on his electricity bill, and we expect that to increase as electricity rates go up. So far, those panels will produce about 80% of his power over the year. So.
Yeah, that's quite a factor. If people want to follow up, find out more, what's the best way for them to do that?
Go to our website, renewboston.org/solar.
All right. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me on.
Jacob Glickel from Environmental and Energy Services.